Let's get started. Center yourself close to a wall in the room you're in and send your hips closest to the wall. Let's do some seated cat-cows, lifting and lowering, stretching your neck, stretching your spine. Let's start opening up the body, twisting to the right and twisting to the left. You can grab onto your knees if that helps you get a deeper twist, not required. Drop your left hand to the floor, reach over with your right. Make sure that your bicep stays in alignment with your ear. Open up that side body. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Drop your right hand to the floor, reach over. You can feel the wall on your shoulder blades. And then place your hand back down when you've had enough. So open up your legs to where the soles of your feet are in front of you. Knees are facing the ceiling. You can send your hips a little bit further away from the wall, but your shoulder blades are on the wall. Lift your heels. You're anchoring yourself with your hands and you're just lifting your heels. Your hips are off the floor. Try kicking your feet up, holding yourself up with your hands, with the wall, and kicking up your feet. Hips stay elevated. You can do as many of these as you want. You'll start to engage your core. You'll start to feel the burn in your glutes. Have fun with it. The wall is your anchor. Side plank. Your glutes or your shoulder blades may feel the wall behind you. Lift up, press through with your left palm. Lift your hips, maybe even lift your leg. Can you do some leg lifts? Little pulses. You can gaze down at the left hand or you can gaze up at the right hand. That's going to depend on your neck. Do as many as you feel appropriate for today. When you're done, maybe just pause and hold your hips up high. If you want to open up your shoulders, reach for under your body and then open it back up. Reach for under your body. Come back up. Go easy and go at your own pace. And when you've done enough, let's go to the other side. First, anchor yourself with your right hand. Stack your shoulder over your wrist. And when you're ready, maybe some leg lifts. Keep your hips high. Engage your core. Everything's very strong, very powerful here. Your neck can look up. You can look down. Maybe a little bit of both. Maybe you do little pulses with your feet. Working your upper body, lifting and lowering that right hand, that left hand, tucking it under your body. Something else you can do from this position is just anchor yourself with one of your feet. Press it up to press your hips up. Yeah. If lifting your hips is too much with both of your feet out in front of you, just go ahead and just give yourself a little bit of an anchor, a little bit of a kickstand. That's an option too. We're going to make a big transition. You're going to stay snugged up against the wall, and we're going to use the wall to lean against for our shoulder blades. So let's start with the right shoulder blade on the wall, or the left. And we're going to come into boat. Absolutely. You're just going to lift, touch your feet, stay elevated, stay lifted, bring your feet and your hands close together. If that's too much movement for you today, that's okay. You can just hold boat. Know that you're protected and anchored by the wall. You're not going to fall anywhere. Let's transition into reverse tabletop. So this is going to open up our front body. So much of this is needed because it reverses the positions that we're in for most of our day. Opening up the shoulders, opening up the rotator cuffs, pressing your hips to the ceiling, looking up, creating that tabletop position with your body. Make sure that your shoulders are directly over the wrists to prevent any damage. And then just hold your hips up. Check in with your breath. Maybe kick a leg out. Maybe kick the other leg out. Maybe you want to extend a leg and just pulse or just hold it. So many options here in reverse tabletop. When you've had enough, sink your hips, elevate them a little bit. Let's do some tricep dips. Get those strong arms. The tricep is that back muscle of your arms. Do as many as you want. Then we'll face toward the wall. Go ahead, put your feet up on the wall. Soles of the feet are pressed against the wall. You're going to use your heels to press into your heels and lift your hips. Yeah, you're going to squeeze your glutes. Hands can be elevated or they can stay on the floor beside your body and help you stay anchored. And you're lifting your hips as high as you want, and then you're lowering to hover so the hips aren't touching the floor again. Just lifting and pressing, feeling protected and anchored by the wall. It's a little change from our normal bridge lifts. So elevating your feet above your heart is so good for your circulatory system, so good for your heart. So this is just a nice change. If you're feeling a change in some of our basic moves that we do usually, use the wall, have some fun, be creative. You can extend your feet out. Make sure you press with the opposite heel against the wall so you feel protected and you stay stable. And then you can kick out the other leg and do a few in reverse, the other leg. If extending your feet is just too much for you, know that you can bend your knee. Press the soles of your feet against the wall. Keep one knee bent, then elevate the other leg. Maybe press it. Maybe extend it closer to your head. See what's possible. Stay anchored, stay protected. When you've had enough, open up your legs wide. Heels are still on that wall, and we're going to bring our torso to our knees. So you're reaching up with your hands. You can do side to side. You can go straight down the middle. You can even grab some hand weights, light hand weights, or an exercise ball, and take that with you as you lift up and lower back. When you're lifting, make sure that both of your shoulder blades come off your mat. Really challenge your core. Do as many as you want for today, and then bring your hips even closer to the wall. Almost make a 90-degree angle with your body. Feet are elevated. Heels are on the wall. Take a few deep breaths here, then grab your right foot, come into half happy baby. Bring that knee down to your underarm. Squeeze in, opening up your hips, opening up your groin. Release to the other side, anchored by the wall, opening up your hips. That should feel amazing. Stretching and lengthening. And so now you can press your hips up. You can stay in a supported bridge with the wall, or you can elevate all the way up to your shoulders. Do a little shoulder stand, but you have the protection of the wall. If you want to play around in shoulder stand, you can even maybe kick one of your feet up away from the wall, or you can just stay grounded by the wall and stretching out that upper back area. This is also a good tension release for your back and your neck. So if you're struggling with a headache today, this is a good one to do. Your hands are out to the side, and you can even bring some movement into this by rolling up and down your spine, lifting your hips, lowering them back, lifting up on your shoulder blades, the top part of your back, rolling back down. If you keep your hips up at a hover, you're going to engage that core and keep it engaged the rest of this work. You're also squeezing in your glutes right here, and you're pressing your heels toward that wall. Lots going on. Just a different way to do everything. And when you've had enough work, spend some moments with your legs elevated up the wall and enjoy that reverse of your circulatory system. So as a little add-on to this workout, just stay close to your wall and then face your wall. So put both of your hands on the wall, separate your feet about hip width distance apart, come up on your tippy toes, and then sink your hips. So your knees are going to go a little bit in front of your toes. That's okay in this position because you're curving your pelvis and you're just lowering your hips right down on your heels. You can do this with the support of the wall. If you didn't have the wall to support you, you'd probably fall forward. So lifting and lowering. You can stay on your tippy toes, or you can lower back to your heels if that feels better in your body today. You can do little pulses. You can keep a lengthening move. When you've had enough, come into second position. Your toes are going to be out to either side. Your heels are going to be kissing each other. And then bend your knees. They'll go out to the side. For your upper body, you can twist your arm left and right. Just make a little circle as if you're turning a knob. That's going to release any tension in any of your arm muscles. Lots going on in the arms. And the next position is going to be just sending your knees to the back of the room. So butterflying your feet. Really intense movement. You can do as much or as little as you want. Then turn to one side. And let's do some dynamic stretching. With the support of the wall, you can lift and lower one leg at a time. Sending it out in front of you, sending it behind you. Lifting up on your tippy toes on the other foot. And when you've had enough, just keep your foot out in front of you. Put a slight bend in your knee. Do little pulses, keeping that leg lifted. Flex your feet. Engage your core. Strong back. Maybe check in with your balance here. Gently move away from the wall. See if you can balance. When you've had enough, try the other side. First, the dynamic stretching. Your hand can be out to the side. One hand's on the wall. The other hand is out to the side. You can even bring back in those rotation exercises that we did earlier. And then gradually bringing the left foot or the other foot out in front of you, putting a slight bend in your knee. And then just holding it out there. Maybe lifting and lowering, if that feels good to you. Maybe just focusing on the lift. And then maybe you let the wall go just for a little bit, working on your balance. So many things you can do here with the wall. When you've had enough, face the wall again. Let's stretch out your glutes. So this is figure 4 squat. We do this often in yoga, but we're going to face the wall this time. And then just cross one of your ankles over the knee, the other knee, and then squat down. Yeah, we know how to do this. Can we release from the wall? Can you clasp your hands behind you? Stretching out that upper body, stretching out the chest muscles, the pecs. What's possible here? Make sure you do the other side. Anchoring yourself with your wall first. It's there to protect you. And then maybe if it feels good to you, clasping your hands behind you, opening up that chest one more time.